What do you think? There's any chance? When do you think you'll ever tackle the problem with the entitlements of the defense budget? Do you think that'll ever come about?
Defense is a little easier than entitlements because it's not so politically sensitive. Here, you want to answer this? It's not so sensitive, or politically sensitive. There may have been, well, let me answer your question. There may be a step towards it Friday when 32 Democrats and 32 Republicans signed a letter to the President saying that we want to do something on entitlements, but we don't want to do it unless we know you're going to be with us. In other words, we want to find out what the President's going to settle for, because nobody wants to move ahead on something as politically sensitive as those 2 or 3 things are, because when you get done with all the work, you want the President to sign it. So Republicans could fight Democrats and get something, one or the other could win, or you could have a bipartisan agreement and everybody wins. But if the President doesn't sign it, you got a bill, but you don't have a product. And the idea is, if you're going to go to all that trouble, better make sure the President can sign it. So nobody wants to go ahead, even though we got the constitutional authority to go ahead, nobody wants to go ahead and make those decisions if he's going to play politics with it. See? And I don't know what his attitude is. He says he wants to do something about it. But you know, his own commission he appointed in May, the Bowles-Simpson Commission, they made big, bold recommendations in this area. And he hasn't even endorsed the recommendations of his own commission. So that kind of makes us wonder, not just us as Republicans, it makes a lot of Democrats wonder what he is up to. There was a big news article this morning in the, I think it was in the Washington Post. But anyway, the new Democrat senator from West Virginia is getting this bold and taking on Obama. And it's in his own political party, remember. And he said he wasn't going to vote for any increase in the debt limit. And that's quite a bit of leverage coming up here during the month of May, unless the President gets on board on some entitlement changes. So it's not just Republicans that are saying the President isn't showing enough leadership. But that's the reason it doesn't happen.
So that's something I can look forward to this weekend to see how that comes out then, huh? Next week.
Well,
didn't you say it was going to be presented to us Friday?
No, the letter was sent Friday. So we don't know how the President's going to respond to the letter. I think there's 2 steps. If you see any of this stuff as leverage on the President to make a move, the first one probably isn't any leverage. This difference between the $6 billion and this $61 billion. But when you get down to May, and the debt limit has to be increased, that's where the real leverage comes. And that could take place. I just read it. You know, it's kind of, you think there'd be an absolute drop dead date, but there's so much manipulation that the Secretary of Treasury can do to avoid bankruptcy that, or I should say, that's not the word, bankruptcy, not paying your bills, you know. Anyway, that it's going to come sometime between May the 15th and July the 1st.